Look, I feel the minute you're an artist, something about you is oddish, because you have come into this space which is so sensorial, and you're going to be expressing in a form that is going to be very unique, which means that your way of perceiving the world, understanding, and then projecting it is all going to be different.
Why have you drawn eyes?
Because to look pretty.
After painting, how did you feel?
Fear.
Like it makes me feel happy and okay.
I feel people who walk into this space and make that decision of going into the art space, it's not an easy decision, definitely not in India. It's got its own challenges, as we are aware of. I think it takes a different bend of mind to do something like that.
In this Captain America as myself, I am spilling milk tea from this tumbler of teacup till like inside like this vessel.
It is their way of presenting themselves in this world where they will be looked at with respect, given the dignity, and given the value that I think every human being seeks. Art is identity for my children. I'm Akshay, the founder of Sense Kaleidoscopes and IAT Trust. This space was opened up primarily to serve autism. So when we say neurodivergence also, it's a huge spectrum, right? And I chose to focus on autism because I truly believe that in India, this is one of the most underserved areas. In the hope that I could do some work in this area, I wanted to use the skill set that I already had as an artist. I did not want to abandon that. So initially, for us to do lessons in the classroom, because you have to take them through a basic training, right? Like how it happens in any other art school. Here it's much more intensive because of the rigor that you need to build for the precision of the work. So when we were doing that, we had to attach to their OCD. There was nothing else that was motivating for me to go through this process that you're asking me to go through if you don't give me that. It started from there. Now, how we decided to take that to the next level was when we started building their portfolios. We wanted a sense of their personality out there. Now, how can I put out the personality of an autistic young adult or an autistic teenager, wherein that individual himself or herself does not understand that they have a personality. Even if they do understand that they have a personality, they do not know how to articulate it.
Hi Rohit, I'll be asking you the questions today.
Yes.
So we will go through some of your paintings and we will talk to you about how you felt while making these paintings and how you feel as an artist.
Okay.
Can you tell me something about this painting, a little bit about this painting? What is happening over here?
Yes. In this artwork of mine, I am going to Shravana Belakola of this Gamteshwara statue's temple with my parents. This is my mom with yellow color chudidar, and this is myself sitting inside the passenger train, and inside this light pink bus I am coming back to Bengaluru with my mother, with my father, and with my mother's all cousins from Shravana Belagola.
Hi Anshika.
Hi.
Are you okay if we start again and you tell me what you like about your painting?
The dragon.
Which movie is the dragon from?
How to train your dragon.
Who was sitting with the dragon in the picture?
That was me.
What are you doing with the dragon?
Holding.
You're holding what?
Dragon claw.
I don't think a human will be able to tap into their own sense of empathy and to a large extent their own identity and their relationship of that identity to their environment if you don't kind of connect with the arts. Look, arts are very sensory. Let's not forget that even just looking at something can stimulate you. And most of our children are sitting there. I feel a lot of them in the art department, the drawing and painting department, just the minute that they keep looking at what they are doing, helps them and supports them a great deal. My intention for the collective was we are going to work towards what inspires us. So each of my students over there that you met, all of them have a very unique portfolio. They have unique styles. That comes from the fact that each of them is actually pursuing their own obsessive compulsive disorders. It's very simple. As a theory, it comes out very simply. All right. And if you see, mostly in this space of work, they don't encourage OCDs. In our world, there is a word called as stimming, which means that the individual is not able to think about anything else, but is in a sort of in a circular action sitting there. Think of you yourself sitting with one single thought and going round and round with that thought. I think it will spiral down. So what is it that we can do to take that thought and open it up? So that we can build different trajectories, and that is where development happens.
Green, olive green, dark blue, brown, light blue, dark pink, light pink, orange, black, yellow, deep yellow, lemon yellow, red, brown.
Because they are working with their OCDs, it kind of brings the images that they really are in love with. That helps the mental health. Two, the repetition of looking at it and it getting better. It's very evident. There is evidence to it. It's evident over there that yes, when I did it the first time, that's why Rohit was talking to you about these draft drawings.
When I start doing painting on my canvases and on like this canson sheet of my drawings for the first time, I first drawings I draw only lightly on A3 sheets and A4 sheets. Yes, I do multiple portraits on single sheets.
So then he keeps looking at, okay, how it's changing. Then there's communication with the curating team and the artist, where pretty much that is a critical analysis that happens over there, where the child is sitting over there and then we are drawing and we are explaining and we're saying, what if you could do it this way? So a lot of skills are getting built in this space while sensorially the child is still active in the process.
My art teachers would tell me like, Rohit, you should draw only lightly for only first time on your practice sheets. And when your art teachers are approving that your all lines are correct, then you can darken them.
All of the kids, if you look at their portfolios, some of them, like Rohit, has drawn Chota Bheem, that cartoon. He's very fascinated with that. I have no idea why. And he has also drawn about Teletubbies. If you see Anshika, she's some of the things that she's looking at. I mean, maybe I'm very old school, but there's something like Geometry Dash. There's Sprunkies or Sprunkies. I don't know what they're called. There are all these characters that she's looking at, and they make up their worlds.
Usually, what do you paint about? What are your paintings about?
Superhero series also.
What are you thinking when you're making a drawing?
Sprunky's character.
The characters from
Only game.
So we help them use all of those characters, but use it in so many different forms and ways. Use such a lot of different media, from pastels to color pencils to acrylic paints, oils. Working with their hands, working with different materials that could work through their fine motor challenges. I mean, we kind of made them go through all of those processes. And what came out very beautifully was, irrespective of whatever barriers in the body and in the mind that maybe autism tends to bring in, they were able to break most of those barriers only because this one single point of this OCD was fixed in the central anchor point. Somewhere I feel that it also helped them believe that now my environment cares about what I care.
My favorite art material to draw on canvas for the first time is ordinary pencils only.
and after pencil?
After pencils, I will paint with acrylic with all types of colors as paints, like on the scan sheets and all canvases also.
Can you tell me what art material you used to make this painting?
Acrylic marker.
You like the texture of the mark.
Yes.
How does the marker feel?
Soft.
With the smells and stuff, while you were interviewing Rohit, he said,
I am interested in smelling on only sometimes this canvas also.
But how does it smell?
It smells only good to me
Why do you like it?
because I think it is good smell, this canvas.
so it's because, sometimes maybe somebody from the team is going, why are you smelling this? You'll also see the tactile thing that you were talking about, right? Tanu, who does a lot of very detailed, intricate pieces, it's very tactile because just using the pen and going in such small areas, yeah. I mean, look at her work. Sometimes I go like, my God, how do you do it?
When you start drawing, what texture do you like to feel? Do you like holding the pen, the canvas?
Holding the pen. Rotting pens.
Rotary pens are your favorite to use. Very nice.
And one error in that, and the whole piece is out. So she has to be constantly looking at it. She has to constantly, I've seen her put her hand, and after she finishes it, she kind of like does this. Like I was wondering whether she's cleaning it or, but then I feel that the tactile thing also, there's a certain level of intelligence or stimulation that is coming through that. Maybe when she's coloring it, then maybe the colors feel slightly different. But look, I'm trying to put words to something that I don't completely understand. And it's just from observation of the behaviors that I'm trying to say that maybe it is this or maybe it is that. It could be anything. Paper changes is a big thing. Media changes is a big thing. The minute we move from dry media to wet media, and then they start looking at, okay, there is how much of water to mix and is it sitting right or is it not sitting right, it brings its own challenges, and you can see them going up and down because again the cognition doesn't support them very easily over there. We have to bear this in mind. What will come very, very easy to somebody else does not come easy at all over here. I remember we had these scales. I used to see my students tear paper when we were doing this forms thing where we were helping them understand the negative and the positive space with distances, right? Some of them were getting so frustrated trying to use the scale, do dots and everything. Eventually we said, forget it. We're not going to do this. We went and then we cut scales to size. We cut a 1/4 inch, we cut a 1/2 inch, we cut a 3/4 inch. We said, okay, now touch it, now feel it. After a point, they're not even reading it, The minute they say 3/4, they'll pick up the exact scale. Tell me how?
Touch.
Correct. So we are experimenting a lot. And the reason we are able to experiment is because we understand that the senses need to be tied very actively. Now, is it just about touch? No. It is also about the tool. Why is it that we are not thinking about how we can redesign the tool to match their senses? Why is it that we are not thinking about all of the different things in the environment that we need to redesign to match? So it's not the mind. It's the environment that will need to adapt. For me, the word neurodivergence becomes more profound or meaningful when I think I look at artists like mine who, despite all of those challenges that they are facing, are still very dedicated and passionate about the arts. That to me is the definition of a neurodivergent artist. I mean, what are the things that can be a barrier? Everything can be a barrier. The sound, the smells, the multisensorial environment that is, provoking me, and I'm not able to regulate myself, I'm not able to manage my emotions. Pretty much everything is going against me, isn't it? But despite that, the work that I do or I engage with motivates me to work through all of those barriers. So for me, when they have overcome all of these barriers and their primary motivator has become art, that I think truly defines it, isn't it?
In this artwork of mine, myself and this dragon are only heroes who are knowing to do only correct things. The rest, all these faces who are yakshas, and this man who is like this and who is only yaksha, are only villains who are going to do the opposite of correct things in this drawing of mine.
When most of these kids came to me, I don't like to use the word broken because I don't believe that it's possible to break human beings, or at least I don't want to believe that. Let's say I'm an idealist. But yes, in different ways and forms, they came broken. See, they also have the same questions that any neurotypical young adult would have when they are educating themselves. But I think over there, they're aligning it with different things like money, position, power, etc. That's not important over here. But don't you think identity is important and necessary for every human being, irrespective of where I come from, who I am, and most importantly, for me to be accepted as I am, not reconstructed, co-constructed, whatever it is, I don't want all that. Just the way I am, with the truth and authenticity that I bring in me as a person, you are able to validate that, you are able to accept that. And if art can help me do that, then it becomes a different story.